I could do it.
All right, whatever you just did, it got loud. So
I just raised my voice. I was speaking a little louder.
Yeah, can you speak a little louder, please?
No problem.
Jeez.
I told you I couldn't try to punk me on this little injury over trying to bully me. What you're not gonna do is try to bully me.
I apologize, man.
Speak up! Okay, all right, fine.
I'm sorry.
Hi, how are you?
I'm sorry.
Hey, everybody.
I'm sorry. All right. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this episode of My Truth. And today's discussion and topic with Alex Furlow will be, what are we talking about today?
It's going to be whatever you want to talk about, but I believe we're going to go with generational curses. Something that has to do with generations, and then the cursing of generations or the whatever. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's because well, you got notes and I got notes too, so that's cool. But again, no, seriously, thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate it. Anytime I call you, you're always in. I really appreciate that because we just trying to get this off the ground, and we could use all the support we can get. So I'm very, very appreciative of it. Thank you. You are welcome. Can I be real in my interview with you? I ain't got enough record battery for this, man. So listen, I just want to yawn. That's all. You want to what? I just want to yawn. You want to yawn? Yeah, like that. Can I do that interview? That's not proper etiquette. Okay, I won't. Don't worry about it. As long as I can call you Furbs. No, you're not doing that. All right, then. I'm afraid you're not doing that. Listen, I'll call you Furbs. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm your Furb. We call you Furbs. So, listen. Let's talk generational curses, man. Because you know what? I've actually felt like in my family alone that we suffer from that. That as far as the men, I can't really speak for the ladies. I can't really speak for them. But I know for a fact that as far as men go, yeah. So to some degree, I feel that we do. I haven't really done too much research on it, and I have to. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So what do you think? Well, I think that to set the foundation, to build off of, I want to say when it comes down to generational curses, it's a term that's being used, and I think that it's a term being used as an excuse to justify behavior. And because it would be something like, oh, well, that just kind of runs in our family, right? Mm-hmm. They'll say, or generational curses, well, it's something that's been passed down, right? But you don't want to negate character and mannerism because these are also things that have nothing to do with cursing, but it's what resides in the lineage of your existence. If your father was athletic, or a Rolling Stone, okay, or a Rolling Stone, mm-hmm. That's different than athleticism. We'll come back to that because that has to do with what generational curses can also kind of lean into. Okay. But I will say, let's just say your father was athletic, right? You come along and you are athletic. Well, does that mean it's a generational curse regarding athleticism? See what I'm saying? Yeah. Because when you think curse, you think bad, negative, negative, yeah. But when you think something good, it just runs our family. Oh, we got tall people in our family. All the guys are tall in our family. We all hoop. We all got skills. But you know what? I never thought of it that way. Yeah. But because that's how curses are looked at. Curses are, I curse you, which speaks to a negative thing, that resides in your bloodstream, in your bloodline. Mm-hmm. Right? So if that's the case, we don't want to ever speak to the positive stuff, even though positive things can also create negative outcomes. Talk about that. You see what I'm saying? No, talk about that a little bit, because that's it. Okay, so something positive could be you're tall. Tall people run on my daddy's side of the family, right? Okay. So then you're 3 generations down the line, you still got tall people.
right? So, but you thinking tall is a good thing. But tall is a bad thing because they're using tall to be a bully. They're using tall to get what they want, to force people to do different things.
Okay.
They're using, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
My height. I'm a big guy, right? I was bigger than this, but my uncles were all large fellas. My grandfather on my father's side, big guy. So big bones run in our family, right? Bones running, right? So we're big guys by nature, naturally. Okay. Tall, large fellas. Well, that could be good or bad. It's good if I'm going to be a football player or I'm doing something athletic, but it could be something negative if I'm driving down the street and get pulled over by a police officer at 1 o'clock in the morning. The boy is 16 years old. Well, he looks 21. He's a big guy.
Which I've been accused of that.
I have too.
Excuse me.
So I'm just saying, so you get what I'm saying when I say it's all about perception. So we really got to define what a curse really is, right? And not just throw it, oh, that's just a generational curse because it's bad and it happens to be a part of my character. You see what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. All right, so look, let's stay on family for a hot minute. Can generational curses transcend cultural and family boundaries, impacting larger communities or societies? And I'll read it again if you need me to.
No, I think that generational curses can. They do exceed beyond culture. As a matter of fact, I would say that what helps define what culture is has a whole lot to do with a whole bunch of people operating in negative formats according to what we classify as general curses, and then what they do is they just bleed over into the community. They bleed over into society. How about this? Birds of a feather do what?
Flock together.
So that means if you got one liar, he gonna meet up with what?
Another liar.
Who's gonna meet up with what?
Another liar.
And meet up with a whole what?
Liars.
Now we got 4 liars hanging out. All this. Doesn't that lead to mischief? But all these 4 people are not in the same family though. See that? So now we got 4 liars that decided to hang out together in this community to establish a certain level of behavior, because behavior is what culture is, right? So we establish a certain level of behavior, and what that does is that transcends beyond community and society. Now, this particular community is labeled as a mischievous community.
So, I have another question.
Okay.
And let's rewind it a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. What defines generational curses, and how does it differ from the learned behavior of society patterns passed down through generations?
So we got behavior, or we got society patterns passed down through generations. Defining what generational curse is, that's kind of where it starts. You got to look at what is, let's just do that. We're live, so let's just rock it. Let's just do this. How about let's go into where everybody always likes to go. Let's pay a visit to Google, right? Since we are here on the screen together, let's just look it up. Let's just define what is a generational curse. What does it mean? Because I think that's where the problem comes in at, right? Generational curse, URSE. Let's just see what it means. What's the definition of it, right? Habit or behavior that has been passed down from one generation to the next. So we know habit or behavior. But wait a minute. If it's a curse, then is a good habit a curse? Or is the bad habit the curse? So when we look at
I think that's what they always label it as. Anything like you just previously said, anything negative, they call it a curse.
So get this. Let's see how it says. Let's see. Formally grounded in Old Testament text heard from church pulpit, generational curses informally refers to painful habits, conditions, and behaviors passed from one generation to the next.
So, what I want to do is, I want to look up, being that we're talking about curses, let me look up the definition of a curse.
Okay. We're good.
Yeah, let me look that up. Because I have a feeling that this conversation is going to go somewhere totally different, like we always do.
So wait, I'll just read what I got. I got a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something.
Okay, so
word or phrases used to express anger or other strong emotions. So we know that curse immediately references negative connotation off top.
Right.
So now we take a negative connotation, right, and we merge it with something that says generational, passing down. So that means that generational curses are the painful or negative behaviors that we naturally gravitate to, right? And we make it a part of our bent. This is what we do. This is how we roll. Well, the Bible says this: we're born into sin and shapen into iniquity, right? So that means that my father's father, born in that same way, what he chooses to do in life that makes him who he is what's passed down. And that's how you establish what lineage is, negative or positive. But the negative is the curse, though.
So, and I'm sorry, man, I'm going to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But you know what I just thought about?
Okay.
Because like myself, and I'm sure there are others out there like that, I didn't grow up with my father.
Okay.
So, yeah. The things that I've always been told about my dad, that my dad was a workaholic.
Okay.
And I come by that honestly. I really do. Like I can't, my wife would always say, you can never sit down.
Mm-hmm.
You can never sit down. I am the guy that if we were working overtime, I once worked 4 days straight overtime. But, you know, and I get that from what my siblings tell me, that my dad worked a lot. And he was a workaholic at one point in time. And I don't know how true this is. I'd have to confirm it again with my sisters. But I believe when I was born, my dad worked 4 jobs at one time.
Mm.
Yeah, he did security. He worked in a fish market. He was a doorman and a super, I believe. And again, that's up for discussion because with my family, and I'll have another podcast with my family to talk about that. But it just started to make me think when you were talking, how can I label that as a generational curse if I really didn't know him?
Okay, let me help you with that. So get this. You may not know where you came from, but you came from somewhere. That means that everything that you do came from somewhere. How my dad operated and how my mom operated merged, and now I have mannerisms from both parents. See what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of how do I do it because I don't know them. Because here's the thing, generational curses or, watch this, generational blessings. Because if there's going to be a curse, there's got to be a blessing. You see what I'm saying? So if it's going to be a generational curse, there's got to be a generational blessing. So the things that promote positive movement, the things that push what advances you and excels you in life, in family, in society, right, in community, that will be classified as a generational blessing. What are the positive impacts that your father, that you did not know? How? It's what you do that people speak highly of, right? So, get this. It says here, if you say that there is a curse on someone, you mean that there seems to be a supernatural power causing unpleasant things to happen to them. Get this though, a curse has to be spoken.